Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We are 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day out there, safe day, and let's make it a great night. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Be yourself around others. The biggest assumption that humans make is that everyone sees life the way we do. We assume that others think the way we think, feel the way we feel, judge the way we judge, and abuse the way we abuse. We are afraid to be ourselves around others because we think others will judge us, victimize us, abuse us, and blame us, as we do ourselves. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials up 75, Nasdaq up 19, S&P's up 10. Gold contract up $11.40, trading at $1,246 an ounce. Silver up 10 cents at $19.12 an ounce. Platinum up $6 at $1,365 an ounce. Copper down 3 pennies at $3.07 a pound. Light sweet crude up 83 cents at $103.97. Bonds flat at $133.16. King dollar, oh baby, up 406 ticks, trading out at 84.82. Euro down 86 at 127, and the yen up 11, trading at 101.07. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Okay. We get to 1654. 1654 gets you over the 19th. We're at close under the 1652.45. We do volume out here of 650 million versus 900. What that is, folks, is a failure. Bottom line. That's what you have. You have 2 different issues here, which is pretty neat, too, by the way. You get over the downdraft of the 19th of June, but you also go into the first downdraft of the 22nd of May. Now, it would have been that. So that's the cash. Let's go over to the future a second, because you can see it a little bit clearer inside the future right here. So the future S&P, this is what you have. We get to a price point today of, this is pretty wild, too, of 1649, right on the nose. Now, 1649 on the nose was where we came down hard from the 19th. That's the first part. Second part, which would have been more bearish, okay, and this is that at 1641, that was the first downdraft coming off May 22nd. But bottom line, you get a failure as you got into that swing point on the 19th. If you take a look at the SPY, what you have with the SPY is this. The SPY, we did 113 million shares at that, going into 206 million. The SPY didn't get to you 165.99. We got the 165.33. Dow Industrials. We take a look at the Dow. This is what we have inside the Dow Industrials. Dow Industrials go up 75 bucks. The top of that 19th on the Dow is 15,322. We got the 15,320. Same setup there. The low of the 22nd was the 15,265. So, okay, so when you look at the correlations between the S&P and the Dow, and we're going to do the Nasdaq in a second, this is how it goes. You get over, the S&P got into the swing, failed. Bottom line, future. Failed, period. The Dow Industrials missed it by, I guess, 2 points, right? Yeah, missed it by 2 points. It would have been nice if it got into it. Dow went to 15,320. You know, if it hit it, it would have been better. It would have been flat out a failure. That correlation there in the S&P and Dow says that, okay, it wants to go downtown. Now, the other side of this is that if, in fact, the Dow had closed at the price point of 15,265, that would have been more bearish. The reason being is that the first acceleration down that we had on the 22nd, okay, the low of that area is 15,242. Nasdaq Composite. We take a look at the Composite. This is what we have in the Composite. Composite today up 19 bucks. Composite is at 3504. That 3504 is over the 19th. It's into the downdraft, and the composite is still screaming. Now, this is what's really cool about the composite and the NDX 100 in general. The composite is still screaming because the volume continues to contract in a huge way, and that price that's not a huge price, let's put it this way, over that swing point. If we go over to the 3 Qs, what you have inside the 3 Qs is this. 3 Qs today, up 44 cents. 25 million shares. The 25 million shares is going to 43 million shares. Now, what you had at the open out here, folks, and this happens, and this is something you always want to pay attention to, wrap your head around a little. You know, last night we were talking about ISRG, okay? So you get Intuitive Surgical. Intuitive Surgical, folks, bottom line was down 80 bucks today. It's an ABC structure on the way down, broke the B point, broke it with volume, all of the above. If you want to see Intuitive Surgical and you want to see how high volume lows and or high volume highs get tested, well, Intuitive Surgical had it all. Not only had it all, done it all. What you had with Intuitive Surgical is that you had a high volume low that was established on the week of March 15th. That high volume low is at $459. Intuitive Surgical had traded all the way up to $516, right? Blows that away today with volume. The Intuitive Surgical is heading down at like 322. It's a disaster, big time. Okay. Now, that's not what I want to talk about with the NDX 100, though. Okay. In fact, Intuitive Surgical. Let me just see this for a second. Yeah, 353. Okay, but check this out, because this is really cool, folks. This morning, okay, and I'll bring this over. NQU3. I want to show you something, because this is where, when you have discrepancies in the marketplace, and it happens, okay, if you understand the weighting structure that is inside the NDX 100 and you pay attention to it, two different things can happen. Either you can make money or you won't lose money, okay? So this morning, you know, I'm watching the Nasdaq futures, right? And the Nasdaq futures, okay, they're pushing the Nasdaq futures up really nice, right? I'm saying to myself, man, this is a trip, okay? So the Nasdaq futures, you know, at 9 o'clock this morning, the Nasdaq futures are trading out at 29.77, okay? Well, what you had there, folks, is this. At 29.77, the Intuitive Surgical was down $75 pre-market. I was like, hold it, man. There's no way that the Nasdaq futures can handle 29.77 because of the fact that Intuitive Surgical, of course, ISRG, is part of the NDX 100, okay? Well, bottom line, if you wonder why the NDX 100 dove at the open, okay, that's what it was. Intuitive Surgical, folks, was screaming, okay? So you know, this is, well, you know, it's important to understand, number one, even if you're a long-term trader, how these indices are set up. If you're a short-term trader, it's crucial, and it's a field day, okay? Because it was like a quick 15 points there inside the NDX 100 because of Intuitive Surgical. So Intuitive Surgical opened, okay, and just got crushed. It opened $75 down, folks, and that's why you saw the NDX 100 go quick, very, very down. So pay attention to those things, because those things are important, particularly if you're swing trading, if you're wondering sometimes, you know, well, the bottom line is that you had to know that Intuitive Surgical was trading down. If you listened to the program yesterday, we knew that was happening. But bottom line, what I want you to get out of it more than anything is that those opportunities are out there, and when they're out there, grab them, and grab them quick, because it's flat out, it's right there. Gold contract. Let's go over to the gold contract. We take a look at gold. That's what we have at gold. So we did 154,000 contracts today, up 12 bucks. Now, gold, my take on gold, folks, is that we've hit a bottom, okay? Two different things end up happening. We hit the 1179, and we hit it nice. Now, I expect the 1234 can get tested, maybe it hits 1200 again. There's going to be testing procedures down at the bottom, but let me tell you something. What we had out here today is this. We didn't have any strength today, but this is what you had. You're up $12, and you're up $12 with the dollar index screaming. The dollar index, folks, is going to 89, okay? Bottom line, you did 41,000 contracts today. You're up 421 ticks. The dollar index wants to get up and test that area. Now, what does happen when there's larger changes of trend is that I expect the dollar index can actually get there, and gold is still going to be moving off that bottom, okay? And this is going to be really interesting watching. But today was a big day, folks, inside that whole structure. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We're coming right back. We have the Dow up 75, Nasdaq up 19, S&P's up 11. We're going to be right back.